So hey guys, and welcome back to another Axe 72 video, and in today's video I'm back with another interview and I'm here with Ryan Ayton. Ryan, how are we?
I'm good. Better after the weekend.
Yes, definitely. A big congratulations to the win on the weekend, mate.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Alright, and so am I right in saying you're 25, you're a super featherweight and you're 2-0?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just gone 2-0. Just gone 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Yes, great. Okay, well, if you are new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, the question which I always like to start off with in these interviews are, why did you start boxing?
To be fair, I started boxing at such a young age. My old man done it as a kid. And just a load of my pals were doing it. I ended up being the one that stuck at it after they let it all go.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little layoff. Obviously, when you hit the age of, I don't know, 17, 18, done the usual boy thing. But after that, I decided to get back into it, and to be honest, it's probably the best thing I've ever done.
Great. And so, do you remember what happened in your first amateur fight?
My first amateur fight was at 48 kilo. I believe, can't remember if it was a last round stoppage or if it was a unanimous decision win. But I remember it like it was yesterday, to be fair. It's probably one of the few I do remember. It was a Essex versus Kent show, and I think it was a 3-2 boy, and it was on my debut. I remember being a lot bigger than me as well. But yeah, I was so prepared for it.
That's great. That's
so many people came up to me after and thought that I had a lot more than what it was on my debut, and arguably it was one of my best performances anyway.
Yeah, that's surprising. There's a lot of fighters that just kind of say their debut's one of their worst performances, but to say that that's one of your best ones, that's quite surprising.
Oh, probably out of my first five, it was probably one of my top.
Great. And so, did you end up winning any big achievements in the amateurs?
In the amateurs, as a youth, I was a four-time Eastern and Southern area champion. Other than that, it was more I consistently reached that level in the championships. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's a good achievement. So, and so, how many amateur fights did you end up racking up?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it was between 20 and 30. But I've always had more of a. I was always told that I had more of a pro style compared to the amateur style. So I always got told that I was more suited to the pro ranks. How
Yeah. And so, even though you were told that, what was the driving factor for you to turn professional when you did?
Oh, to be fair, like even as an amateur, I always said that I wanted to turn pro. Obviously, but it's one of the kids' dreams, isn't it? You always watch the boys on TV and say, "Oh yeah, you want to do that," but there's only a very few people that actually end up growing up and pursuing that. One of the best things you can do is pursue your dreams, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Definitely. And so, which fight out of the two would you say so far you've performed your best in? Would it have been the most recent one?
100%. My last fight was so much more of a mature performance. So I feel like maybe for my debut I put too much pressure on myself to get the big professional debut out of the way. Where this one was far more relaxed. I was able to stick to a game plan, and I was just far more switched on and mature.
And so, would you say that fight all went completely to the game plan? No kind of surprises?
No. I'd say the game plan completely worked. Every plan that we stuck in place came off and was well executed, and was well came up by my team.
That's great. And so you've now had the 2 fights and the 2 wins in the professional game, and you said you kind of that last fight felt good because you kind of were more prepared for the professional game, you were more used to it. And so how would you say you've settled into the professional game so far?
I feel like I've settled in quite nicely. Obviously it is a big change because obviously it's not just a a lot of people say that the amateurs is a sport and the professional game is a business, and
Mm.
you don't really understand that until you're a part of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, I've only had 2 fights. I'm learning as I'm going as well. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. And so you've been relatively active so far, and I know you've just fought on the weekend, but is there any kind of possible date of a future fight before possibly the end of the year?
I haven't spoke to my manager as of yet, but I'm sure we will have a conversation and see what shows are around.
Mm-hmm.
If not, definitely. If not one this side of Christmas, definitely early next year.
Great. And so when you do eventually get back into fighting, I know the pro game's a lot about selling tickets and that kind of aspect of things. And as you are just an upcoming fighter, I'm sure more and more new fans are coming to your fights every fight. And so what would you say to them new fans? Why should they come and watch you?
Um, to be fair, I've got such a brilliant fan base. I'm not saying it's massive in size, but there's some serious personalities. I mean, like if you can watch the last fight back, I mean, you can hear the majority of them anyway. Do you know what I mean? Not only that, like I feel like it's a brilliant night, and there's nothing you'll experience quite like professional boxing. You know what I mean? So, but like even after the win I just had, there were so many people asking like for my Instagram for pictures. And, like if anything, like it was quite shocking. You don't realise that, and I feel like the more you grow, the more the fan base will grow. It'll grow at a steady pace. Grow at a steady pace. So I feel like it's obviously going to get more and more entertaining the more and more fights go, and there's going to be more of a skill set available to be watched the more I go on through my career.
Definitely. And so you are just at the very start of your career at the moment, and so how far do you believe you can go?
Well, if you're wanting to climb the rankings and you don't believe you can go all the way, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be doing it if you don't think you can make it to a sort of seriously decent level. Because otherwise, what are you going to do once you reach this target? I'm not going to sit and say that I'll reach a Southern Area title and then me do it next year and then go, oh, well, I've done my target. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's all about making baby steps, and it's all about setting target after target after target. But yeah, if you don't personally believe that you can go all the way, then you're in the wrong sport.
Definitely. And so, as you are just an up and coming fighter at the moment, not too many people might have heard of you. And so, style wise, what kind of, if you could kind of compare yourself to a well known fighter, what fighter would you compare yourself to?
Oh. See, that's a tricky question, because obviously as soon as you compare yourself to someone, you don't want to come across as too cocky for that sort of stature. But I feel like where obviously I'm a southpaw, so obviously I'm a left-hander, and I like to come in at pace. So I guess you could say stylistic wise, Manny Pacquiao, just from where I like to come in fast in and out. Obviously, that is a massive ask, and that is a big start.
No,
so.
Yes. Yeah, of course. I get what you're saying. I mean, just like, yeah, stylistic wise, that is definitely, and I'm sure in a way that's somebody you look up to as well.
100%. I loved watching Manny Pacquiao all the way through.
That's great. Okay, and so I'll leave it with this final question, which I always like to ask. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Do you want to shout anything out?
Yeah, massive shout out to my family and friends that have been able to that have bought a ticket and came purely for the support and after for understanding of like the ticket sales, etc. So for making it all happen. Also, a massive shout out to Coastal Skipper CSH being my sponsor and sponsored me from the start, as well as Essex Car Stores. Took both took big risks with not expecting much reward on sponsoring me, and also a massive shout out to my team at Hoddesdon Boxing Academy. Been absolutely amazing.
That's great. Okay, well, thank you very much for doing this interview, mate.
Thank you, man. Also, a massive shout out to Sablio, who's my manager, and Alex, who's his son, who done me corner, who's one of my trainers. absolutely brilliant coming up with the entire training camp, the entire training and the game plan.
Nice one. Okay, and so maybe a little bit further along down the line when you're fighting for some belts, we can come back and do a return interview.
100%, 100%. Just give me a message.
Great. Okay. Well, if you are new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like video, and thanks for watching.